From the depths of rot and decay they rise. The death god marches on the sickened skies. With boils and blight they spread the pain. In Nurgle's name disease will reign. Rot and ruin, pestilence flows. With every breath the plague wind blows. Embrace the rot, let flesh decay. The death god comes, none can stay. From the depths of rot and decay they rise. The death god marches under sickened skies. With boils and blight they spread the pain. In Noodle's name disease will reign. Rot and ruin, pestilence flows. With every breath the plague wind blows. Embrace the rot, let flesh decay. The death god comes, none can stay. Armored and filled with rusted blades, they laugh as cities wilt and fade. Where they tread, no life remains. Just hollow corpses, plague remains. Beneath the helm, the cursed grin, for in death they shall begin. Rot and ruin, pestilence flows. With every breath the plague wind blows. Embrace the rot, let flesh decay. The death god comes, none can stay. Beneath the warp the souls are bound. To spread decay, to break the ground. Noble's gifts a putrid stain. A future where only disease remains. Rot and ruin, pestilence flows. With every breath the plague wind blows. Embrace the rot, let flesh decay. The death god comes, none can stay. The rot spreads, there's no escape. The death god seals your fate.
Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of the Disgustingly Resilient, well, another stream of the Disgustingly Resilient podcast and another Plague Surgery where we go through all of our members' lists that have been submitted and we try and pick out some interesting ones to look at, people who need advice for upcoming tournaments or events, or maybe they just started the hobby and they're trying to plan the purchases and all that kind of thing, and we try to advise or maybe, give our opinion on certain things, but there's that kind of stuff. But hello to everybody that is in the chat currently. So very quick reminder, if you do enjoy the content we do on this channel, please leave a like and a subscribe. It really does help. Leave a like on the stream or subscribe to the channel. And if you really enjoy the content, consider becoming a Plague Marine. You get to submit your list to this surgery so that we can look at them live on stream and give them a review and give you some feedback on them. Again, we try not to basically just look at people's lists and say this is all rubbish, throw it out the window. We don't work like that over here. What we do is we look at what you've got and we try to maybe suggest some small tweaks and changes you can make, because it's no good you give me a list of your models and then me saying, cool, go buy 2,000 more points, because that's not really going to happen. Most of us don't have the expendable income to just run out and buy an extra 2,000 point army, so we work with what you've got. But the way this works is obviously, once you become a member, you can come to our Discord. You can find the link to our Discord once you become a member on our community post on our YouTube channel homepage. You go to our Plague Surgery channel on there and you just post your list away, and basically we'll go from there. So it's good to see everybody in the chat. Hugh Janus, Gray, Dan Webb, Christos, Chenari, Ben Hayden, Leonardo, Tom, Dan, Heretical Spartan and Dylan. So I hope you guys are all having a great day. Americans, apparently it's Super Bowl day or something like that for people who are interested in that. So hopefully I'm not doing this at the exact moment that's on. Just kind of just like shooting myself in the foot, but hopefully not. So yeah, what we do is anyone that's in the chat currently, we've already seen a few people ask for theirs to get looked at. We will go through those. We try to compare it to people that are in chat because we can have the engagement with them and sort of talk back and forth and get some ideas and further opinion. But part of that, we'll just pick out a few different ones, a few examples, and basically go from there, really. So first one I wanted to kind of look at, I'm just going to sort this little thing up here, just so it's a bit more accurate to what I can see on my screen, to what you guys can see on your screen. There we go. So, also special shout out to our member Zito, who just went 4-1 at the Bolton Lords of War Super Major, unfortunately losing out narrowly in the final to a Bridgehead strike force from the Astra Militarum, but an amazing effort, amazing run to get there, and he should be very proud of himself. So special shout out to you, Zito. Congratulations on that one. Excited for you to play, hoping you get to select Patron. Well, we will have a look at that if we can. So I picked one out at random just to start. Not so much random this one, it's a bit more selective. But this is from a fellow called Bud. He's put, I'm new to Death Guard, played 40k on and off for the last 15 years. That is longer than I knew it existed. This is the list I am putting together to play in a friendly league at my local shop. I am trying to stick to Death Guard mainly, but I'm happy to use allies. So the reason I wanted to stick on this one, because it's a bit different, not because of units and stuff like that, but more because it's been made for a sort of friendly league. So we're not talking cutthroat competitive here. This is a fella that's basically trying to put a list together that's going to be fun in the league. So that's what we're going to have a check out, and we're going to have a look and maybe just see if there's any glaring weaknesses. So starting off, we are playing as Plague Company. So we know what Plague Company here. We've got Mortarion, Typhus, a Biologist Putrefire, a Death Guard Icon Bearer with Deadly Pathogen. A Lord of Contagion with Deadly Pathogen. Sorry, got mixed together there. 10 Plague Marines, rocking a good weapon loadout split. So we've got 3 Plasma Guns, 2 Spewers, 5 heavy Plague Weapons. That's a really nice split, and a Blight Launcher. 5 Plague Marines with the double Plasma, Plague Spewer, triple heavy Plague Weapon. So he knows his loadouts, so that's really cool. So your loadouts are great, like that. 2 squads of Cultists. Again, really good inclusion there. And then we've got 2 squads of Death Shroud Terminators. So what this says to me is that because you've only got 2 Terminator characters, you've got Typhus and Lord of Contagion, they're basically taken up by those 2 3-man squads there. So Typhus isn't realistically going to be joining the Poxwalkers. So this just makes me think that maybe this could be just cut down to 10 guys to hold home. But if you really if you really want to have that big brick of Poxwalkers to stop Call the Horde, you can keep 20, but I prefer 20 when it's used with Typhus in conjunction, or Typhus has the ability to flex between them, whereas you don't really want a Death Shroud squad without a character. So that's fine. You could probably cut it down and maybe save yourself 50 points onto somewhere else. We'll see. But again, it's not a bad inclusion. It's just the first thing I'm thinking as I'm seeing this. Then we've got 2 Predator Destructors with 2 Plague Heavy Bolters, which he does mention at the top. He likes the consistent damage over the highs and lows of las cannons. That's fair enough. I can understand that. A lot of people don't like the sort of like all or nothing nature of the las cannon. It's kind of like, you know, 2 shots can miss me easily, can fail to wound. So that's understandable. So there's still a really good fire platform, lots of guns, lots of like long range output. So I don't mind that at all. Then we've got 1, 2, 3 Fetid Bloat Drones, 2 rocking the heavy blight launchers, which I actually like this because I enjoy this with the combination of the heavy bolters. Just gives you that little bit of ability to punch up because you don't have the last cannon. So helps you keep that shooting up there, and you've still got a Plague Spit to throw forward. That's really nice. Rhino for both squads of Plague Marines. Now, I think the one thing I'm feeling here is that the second 5-man's a little wasted potentially. To have a Rhino just to itself, although you do have an Icon Bearer in there, that makes me feel a little bit about it. So kind of like that. But again, that's not the worst thing in the world, so that's okay. We got that. And then we have an allied unit of Nurglings. Again, just screen stuff, has infiltrate. It's quite nice to deny opponent's scouts, so I'll guarantee you get your scouts off. So, I mean, overall, it's a pretty solid, straightforward list. I do like it. You've got nice early skirmishing units with your Fetid Bloat Drones. You've got 3 of them. You've got Cultists to either sort of sit at home or push out earlier. The Poxwalker is the only thing that can really, like, I think, like, maybe you could consider changing here. To sort of, like, try and free up those 100 points into something else. Maybe you could get another 5-man Plague Marine squad to go in that second Rhino to make the most out of it. And then you have a 5-man squad you can throw out. Just flip a primary objective. Maybe do a bit of damage. Or on the alternative side, you can have it, you know, join with the Icon Bearer, have 2 squads of 5. Just makes it a really nice sort of primary denial trading piece, can do actions and whatnot. But if you really feel like maybe you're in like a deep strike heavy meta, and 20 Poxwalkers to screen home will get a lot of value. That's also a fair shout. But I mean, honestly, there's not much I really dislike about this one. I'll be truthful with you. It's got a nice, good spread of things. Predator structures are nice. I'm glad you got 2 of those buggers there. The way it kind of plays this one, you basically want to keep some form of guns around more in what is sort of like your early shooting firepower, buffing them up. You want to have your rhinos take up staging positions in the middle of the board, so they want to get to mid ruins to be able to like flip out the plague marines onto objectives and to score. Your cultists and your fetid bloat drones are the things that initiate the fights. The only thing we might think here is potentially wanting to cut the Poxwalker unit down to 10 and use the 50 points, and you could also cut deadly pathogen or living plague even. Living plague is rarely needed on the icon bearer. In all honesty, you don't tend to need the extra 3 inches. The 12-inch contagion on the entire unit's usually enough, but I would personally cut living plague. I would cut the 10 Poxwalkers, and I would get a foul blight spawn for your 10-man marine squad. Because you're already investing so much in it, the last thing you want is this squad to get charged by a unit and just deleted before it gets any value. So the foul blight spawn and the Badge Putrefier is an expensive combo, but it is kind of a staple of Death Guard for a reason, and that reason is because it is just really effective. You have lethal 5s, crit 5s in general, and then fight first on that squad. It means it's really good for either anchoring an objective and sort of defending it, or making sure that basically someone with a fast-moving melee unit like Sanguinary Guard or just even JPIs can't just run up and kill a bunch of dudes before dying. So I'd probably consider that. That's the only thing I'm really thinking of changing would be these 20 Poxwalkers to either be some extra, drop it down to a 10-man, drop Living Plague and get a Foul Blight spawn for your 10-man Plague Marines, or you can drop the entire lot of it and then you can fit in, what could you get? You could even get another Lord. That would free up Typhus to go solo, which isn't the worst thing, or another 5 Plague Marines. They're probably my suggestions for this one, but overall, for what you're asking for, in terms of like a friendly local league, I think you're more than fine with this, mate. I think this is a great little list to go around with. It's got a bit of everything, can play into most things, so I don't think, as long as it's not the most sweaty competitive environment and you're saying it's a friendly league, you'll be more than fine with this. So it's honestly, do that, make those little changes if you want, but don't feel bad if you like just want to run what you've got here. But part of that, real solid. Thank you very much as well for Lazy Chicken for the gifted membership there. Really appreciate it, Derek Flatter. Congratulations, and again, come to our community tab on our YouTube channel homepage. Scroll down a few posts, you'll see a link to join the Discord and get yourself in here. So, let me have a quick sec. Okay, have a quick check-in with chat as well. Leonardo, thank you in advance for the content. Just got done listening to Will's Poxwalker to Plague Marine episode, straight into a plague surgery. That's awesome. Yeah, so for people who don't know, Will has recorded an episode. It's just audio only, so it's great for just listening while you're doing other things. Talking about how he's, earlier in the edition, he's had a lot of success, and recently he started to have a lot of like struggle, and he thinks it's now due to him figuring out that he's been changing his list too much. So he talks about the topic of like sticking with a list and what works for you, as compared to chasing the trends / the meta and trying to adapt to it. So it's an interesting listen. So if you've not listened to it, go check it out after the stream, and drop Will a little like there to show him some support as well. Marshall Newman, thank you very much for becoming a Plague Marine, mate, as well. Again, follow the instructions just said there. Get yourself into the Plague Surgery, and we'll have a look at your list and all that kind of good stuff. So who else in the chat wanted me to look at there? So it helps if you can find it. Dan Webb, I'm going to guess this is you here, Dan, mate. I'm going to hope this is you, so we'll go for yours first. Just about to start a league at my local club. This is my current list that I've been having some success with. The third bloat drone could either become my Mythic Blight Hauler, or 20 Pox instead of 10 with some Nurglings for Infiltrate. My local meta includes Marines, all varieties, Thousand Suns, Necrons and Demons. Thanks and love the content. Dan's Barmy Army, like the name. So we got a Badge Putrefier, Death Guard Sorcerer and Terminator Armor, a Foul Blight Spawn, a Lord of Contagion with Deadly Pathogen, a Lord of Virulence, Mortarion, and Typhus. So then we got 10 Plague Marines and a Rhino, 2 squads of Cultist, 2 Predator Destructors, a big 6-mana Despardi Terminator, a smaller 3-man, so I'm going to guess that's Lord of Virulence / the... Okay, so we've got... So to me, I'm already thinking we've got 3 Terminator characters, technically 4, and only 2 units Terminator. So I'd probably, my initial thought is to probably cut one of them. But again, we'll keep going. Fetid Bloat Drone, Fetid Bloat Drone, Fetid Bloat Drone, and some Poxwalkers. So we do have Cultists, so that's nice for early skirmishing and trading. So to me, there's just a little bit too many points in the top heaviness of this build. Because you've got the 110 points for the... oh wait, we've got 110 points on the biologist Foul Blight spawn. My instant one is to cut one of these lords. I would personally, again, it depends on the meta, as you said. These builds, if they're just shooty or if they're melee, depends what you want to... I drop either LOV, because you're not really getting any benefit of the blast bonus to there, so you're only getting the rerolls to wound, which is good. Don't get me wrong, it's still really good. But I would probably rather the -1 damage in melee plus the once per game super shots. So I would personally cut the LOV, have this sorcerer with the 6-man, LOC with the 3-man, take those 80 points there, and then what can we do with these 80 points? So technically we could recycle into this Poxwalkers and get a 3rd Predator Destructor. That would probably have a lot more impact in your game than a solo sorcerer and 10 Poxwalkers would. You could also... So what else could we get? 80 points. Is this bang on 2k? I'm going to assume it's bang on 2k. You could technically drop Deadly Pathogen and then have the 80 plus the net 15 points for that. That would get you an extra like Demon Engine, again just for skirmishing kind of things, or another unit of like Poxwalkers and Nurglings if you really want loads of screens. Again, you know your meta better than I do. You know the area you're playing in. So I'm trying to think, because you've got the good thing about this Playground Brick is it's really good for making sure you basically always hold your natural primary. So what we need to do, we need to be attacking their primary, which is great because you've got the Death Shroud squads to do that. And then you also need to be holding fire in line. So I'm actually, I think I'm of the mindset, because you've got all these Plague Spitters as well to push. I would probably try and go for a 3rd Predator Destructor, just because you can keep 2 around with Morty, and then you can keep one on strategic reserves to bring in at an angle that your opponent like left open. And I'd probably give that 3rd one like Las Cannons, or even, I mean, if these are rocking Las Cannons, go the 3rd with the Heavy Bolters, because there's times when you'll rapid ingress a Predator off the edge of a terrain, off the edge of the board, sorry. So you can drive 10, get an angle on an infantry unit, and just pick it up. And I think that'll genuinely just have a lot more impact than the solo, like Soul Sorcerer was okay, but you've also got down here a Solo Typhus, so you've already got a deep striking solo piece. I think, and obviously that you're already open up to a lot of, you're also up with a lot of assassination points here, so cutting down that a little bit will also help. So I'd probably recommend that. That's where my head's at. You could technically also, if you wanted to not run Typhus solo, you could do what we said there. Drop the LOV, drop the 10 Poxwalkers, and then that would give you a 130 points. You could get another squad of 3 Death Shroud Terminators in there, which would then put you up to 633. And then use the 20 points to give something Living Plague, which would then allow you to have like better auras, and that kind of would like it's just a nice little upgrade on the enhancement. Or you could upgrade these, because I think that I'd prefer that, because that would be, again, you're just thinking about impact on the game, because then Typhus could join one, so you'd have a sorcerer, a lot of contagion, and Typhus. So you'd have 2 3-man squads with damage 3 guys in it, damage 3 characters, and then you'd have 1 squad with the -1 damage, but that's the big squad, so that'd be quite nice as well. So I think that's where my head's at for this. I'd either go for, so get rid of one of the characters that you don't like, or like the one they find will be least impactful. My vote's on Lord Virulence here. Drop him, probably drop the Poxwalkers, and then use those combined points to either get a 3rd Predator, or to get another squad of Death Shroud, 3-man squad of Death Shroud plus Living Plague. But also if you just have what you've set up here, the 3rd Bloat Drone. I like the 3 Bloat Drones, honestly. 3 Bloat Drones are just super annoying. They're just really, really annoying. So I wouldn't drop that, to be honest. I'd keep your 3rd Bloat Drone there, to be honest with you. I think that's probably the change I'd recommend for this one. But again, give it a whirl. Let us know how you feel and how it goes, and come back to us with the feedback, because maybe I was up chatting out my ass. Maybe I was completely wrong. But I think that's where my head's personally at. You lose a little bit of scoring because you're dropping 2 units for 1. But I just think that 1 unit's going to have a lot more impact on the game than 10 random Poxwalkers and thingy will. Because you've got so much forward pressure with the Bloat Drones, and you've got a Rhino to push forward, you can leave a Cultist squad at home and still have one still to push out with. You normally want triple Cultists and then 10 Poxwalkers at home if you don't have like a Rhino or something to pay forward, yeah. It's awesome. So yeah. Let me check in with chat again. I'm going to put my list in the Plague Surgery chat now. Currently building. Okay, cool. We'll look at yours, Chuck. That's no problem. Mine is just below Dan's. Yep, cool. No worries. We'll do that, Dylan. Hopefully that's alright for you, Dan. Is that clear what I said to you, mate? I have to link to my. I had the link to my post. There's a good spot to put it. Find your post in here, Gray, and then reply to your own post and tag me in it. That's the easiest way for me to find it. Get those Land Raiders and Claude in these lists. Congratulations to you for today, mate. Really well done. And Land Raider and Claude did definitely put in a lot of work. Thanks for the feedback. I might go down to 10 pots with Instruct Living Plague and pick up a Terminator Sorcerer. Yes, that would also be a great shout there, bud. That would be a very good shout. Because the Typhus solo is really good. It's just... And again, it gives you the flexibility. So if there's a game where Typhus would be better in the squad for the damage-free weapon, you can put the Sorcerer solo, so you have that little bit of flexibility there. That would be quite cool as well. Chenari, thank you very much for the 5 gifted memberships, mate. Really appreciate that. And everyone that's giving a membership, make sure you say thank you to Chenari. But thank you so much, mate. I really appreciate the support going on. Failed with the Zeta memberships, mate. No worries, you're very welcome, Dan. And again, let us know how it goes. I'd love to hear back from people, sort of how it went, what worked, what didn't, because we're always adapting our lists, really. Okay, so just under Dan, this was... So Locastar, is this you, Dylan, yeah? Is this you, Locastar? I'm just going to have a quick sip of my drinking. Chaos spawns are fine, Parzival, honestly. It's just, points are quite tight, trying to fit things in, so I think one of the first things people do if they need to find 20 points would be, like, change out a spawn for, like, Cultists or Poxwalkers, but... I know Don still really likes Spawn. It's just a lot of things like getting quite point tight at the moment. But Spawn are honestly fine. They're a tough little thing for early skirmishing, early like doing actions and stuff like that. So like I'm not going to be upset if someone's got a unit of Spawn. It's just if you ever get to a point where that Spawn going down to Cultists will let you bring like an extra Predator or something, I'm probably going to recommend you pick up the Predator more than the Spawn at that point. Okay, so Flyblown Host. 10 Plague Marines with a Biological Putrefier and a Tallyman, so that's the Lone Uppy squad. 10 Black Lord Terminators with an LOV with the Assault Weapon. 6 Death Shard Terminators with Termi Sorcerer. 3 Death Shard Terminators with a Lord of Contagion. Demon Prince. Don't like these things. Okay, we'll talk about Demon Prince. But I get the logic. Typhus, 60 Poxwalkers, 10 Plague Bearers, 6 Nurglings, and 1 Mythic Blight Hauler. So the Blight Hauler is here just to give access to the stratagem. I totally get that. I actually run 2 in my Flyblown Host. They're actually not too bad, but yeah, just having 1 around just for access to the, is honestly fine to have access to the stratagem for the -1 to wound. Now, so here... The Demon Prince, I'm actually working on a video, and one of the video is like the worst 4 or 5 units in our index and what I would do to fix them, and I genuinely had the Demon Prince in there. The Demon Prince himself is like such a confusing unit. He's okay durability, he's not the greatest, he's okay, 2 up 4 up's pretty good, T11. And his aura of 6 up Feel No Pain and Contagion sounds good. And in certain scenarios, it is good. If you're playing a lot of Terminators, which you are, and you come across an army with tons of 3 damage weapon, like Predators and stuff, the Feel No Pain can actually be really big, because you go from killing 1 Terminator every failed save to having a 50-50 chance that it's going to take 2 rounds to kill every Terminator. So, there, we're back. Okay, cool. Okay, sorry about that. So, there, we're back. Okay, cool. Okay, sorry about that, guys. The old router's been playing up a bit at the moment, so we've ordered a new one. I need to put it in after this. It's downstairs, I just haven't put it in yet because I'm a bit lazy, but we're back. We're good. Sorry about that. I apologise, guys. So, the Demon Prince is... He has a 6 of... Like I said, the 6 of Feel No Pain is good. 6 of Feel No Pain is good. The main issue I have with the 6 of Feel No Pain is that it's on a very slow body, and the problem is that when you make a... He's hard to move around. He's hard to get around the board because he's a monster, so he can't walk through walls. He has to come around the side, etc. like that. So when you make a charge with the Demon Prince, you go zoom, 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 which is good. We like zooming. The main issue is when you make a charge with the Terminators that he was giving the Feel No Pain to. If they make a charge and he doesn't, they're now good chance that they're going to charge out of his aura, and because he's having to walk around buildings and sort of like go around everything, whereas the Terminators can go clean through, he can actually become a problem to keep your unit within the aura. You're having to basically, you have Terminators that can walk clean through a wall and go for a charge, but now you're like, oh no, I want my Feel No Pain though, so I kind of got to cut myself some movement back so I can stay near the Demon Prince, and then it gets messy. And the Demon Prince himself is like strength 8, which is just such an awkward number at the moment. It's like, cool, it kills infantry really well. So does everything in Death Guard. But it really struggles against vehicles. Really struggles. Now, the other thing I'm thinking of, because you have 60 Poxwalkers, they get no value from it because they already have 5 up, feel no pain. So that's good. That's, you know, a bit of redundancy there. Now, he's not terrible. And I wish some of the enhancements, if you could give him the enhancement where he heals to full end of every phase, that would be hilarious, and I'd love to see it in Flyblown Host. I just don't know, because of the points that he is and how expensive he is, I don't know if he's genuinely worth the points. Because he's in like 180 or 170 or something like that. Let me have a quick dude. Someone remind me on the points for the old Demon Prince here. He's very expensive though for what he is. Same the idea that Death Shot outpaced it. Yeah, it unfortunately happens. Let's give a look. He is a very cool model. I will 100% give you that. So I'm not going to tell you to drop him straight away. If you play him, yeah, 160. So at least he's not the winged one at 195 for some goddamn reason. If you play him and you're getting value out of him, by all means, like keep him in. If he's doing work for you, then he's doing work for you. But the way I see it is, unfortunately, he's just a little bit expensive. Now, is this 2 squads of 3 Nurglings, or is this 1 squad of 6 Nurglings as well? That's an important question, because the thing is, if that's 1 squad of 6 Nurglings, this Demon Prince is being cut away, and then these 2 squads of 3 Nurglings become 1 squad of 6, which gives you 10 extra points, and that's 170 points there, which is real close to getting you another Terminator Sorcerer and some Death Shroud there, which is quite a bit. So yeah, it's already 1 times 6, so you've already done the discount there. That's fair play. That's fair play. Now, the one good thing about this is, because of the... I'm trying to think. Because you're playing against Marines, mostly, you're going to have to worry about Oath a bit as well. Oath is kind of scary, because it's just going to come in and just obliterate one of your big units. So actually, the Demon Prince there can help counter Oaths a little bit, because again, it just means that all the damage that is perfectly tailored to kill those units is going to struggle a lot more. So I kind of understand at the same time. I don't know about this squad. This squad with the low-up's actually fine, I guess. I just personally want a little bit more chunk to the list. The Plague Bearers are good if you need the sticky there. You could, for example, so you need something to sit at home in this list. You really need something to sit at home. And you don't want to leave the Plague Bearers, because the Plague Bearers want to be moving up and sticky in the next thing. So actually, what I'd do here is I might even consider asking you to... We could cut 10 Poxwalkers, we have 10 to just sit on home, 2 squads of 20 to push out. Then, again, if the Demon Prince went down at that point, that would be what? 50 plus 1, so it'd be 210. That would get you a lot more chunk. That would get you quite a bit more chunk. Because then you can have another squad of Death Shroud Terminators. It's weird, because it's a hard one with... It's a weird one with Flyblown Host. Because I'm not sure how much you've played it, but if you have been... playing Flyblown Host, it's really going to work this game, or it's really going to not. And the units I've took in it tend to not matter too much. Either the opponent can deal with stealth and kill it, or they can't, and they get run over. It's a very strange one, but I don't dislike it. I just think you need something to sit on home here, and you don't want Plague Bearers there all the time. So you could even make an argument to maybe just cut one of the unit 20 Poxwalkers to like a 10 man and 10 cultists. That's also not bad. I know cultists don't get as much use with the scout and whatnot, but scout 6 is still useful. There's still something that can just run around, do actions, or you could even potentially cut that. I don't know if you need 6 Nurglings. I was playing with 1 unit of Nurglings and it was fine. You only need 1 unit of Nurglings to guarantee you get a scout off somewhere. You don't really need the full 6. I reckon you could save 30 points there, to be honest with you. I reckon you could save 30 points there, plus off the Poxwalkers, that'd bring you to what? That'd bring you to 80 points. Potentially. Yeah, that's the way I started, Dylan. But then the more I played, I actually preferred have... Oh, wait, that might do it, actually. No, I won't do it. I started using double Plague Bearers. I started having 1 in reserves to try and make a crazy deep strike charges. But I like my Plague Bearers following up the first wave, so I can instantly move off it after the turn 2. Because you're going to need something sat on home. Otherwise, anything with deep strike... and you want to be... Because of the nature of the list wanting to pressure early and hard, you need to stop them scoring straight away and stop scoring primary. You can't really wait for turn 3 to be over to start moving out with stuff. So I ideally want you to like have something on home objective. So I would probably go like, even if it's just 2 spawn, or you got a Tallyman there, so that's fine. You don't need they already got a Tallyman, so you don't need a second Tallyman. I'd probably go Poxwalkers down, cut the 3 Nurglings, and you can just go 2 Chaos Spawn, shove them on your home objective after it's been stickied. So they sticky it, they instantly start moving and advancing up towards the next objective of turn 1, and Chaos Spawn just screen out the home objective. Or 10 Cultists for it. That would be an easy one. Just 10 Poxwalkers out, 10 Cultists in. But then you are losing out the big brick Poxwalkers, which is one of the best things. Oh, it's so hard, this detachment. Ooh. Man, it's the Demon Prince. I'm just staring daggers at that Demon Prince and it's 160 points. Because that would fix all those issues. Because you can go like second unit of Plague Bearers, plus 10 Cultists to shove Slub on and shove on home. Jobs are good and big bish bang bang. But, you know, that's a good job. Because, I mean, imagine you walking the Blight Lord Terminators here. I imagine. So, walking them, walking the Despardi, keeping the Demon Prince around. It's not too bad. Plague Marines take natural objective. Yeah, I don't think it's actually... I think if you're going to keep the Demon Prince in there, there's not much I could genuinely recommend changing too much. You could add a Beast. I don't want to leave 10... Yeah, drop 10 Pox, 3 Nurglings. That would actually be pretty good. Because then you also have another Deep Strike scoring thing. Because you also don't want any of these things doing actions. You can't have any of these things doing actions. Typhus can do actions. That's good. So we've got 1 unit doing actions. Yeah, that's a great shot, actually. Drop 10 Pox. Drop 3 Nurglings. Leave 10 Poxwalkers at home to hold it. Add a Beast of Nurgle, which gives you another Deep Strike, annoying piece that has to be dealt with. And also means if your Plague Bearers have gone elsewhere, like Plague Bearers have gone somewhere else, you can just hold an objective with a Beast of Nurgle at home. And that's fine. Also, Beast of Nurgle doesn't really die to indirect because of his toughness, which is really nice. Yeah, that's a good shout, actually. Go for that one. Give that a whirl. But I want to know how this Demon Prince does, so come back to me. Let me know how this Demon Prince actually does for you. But if I was to say you come back and this Demon Prince isn't really cutting it for you, just straight out, swap the Demon Prince out. Probably get another unit of 10 Plague Bearers in there. That'll leave you 50 points spare. Then you could, you know, cut down the Nurglings to like another 80 points, get another Beast of Nurgle in there, or potentially find 10 more points to get them Fake Blight Hall and have 2 of them. That's probably where I'd go with that for that point. But let us know how it goes. I'd be interested because I mean, I like the Biotermi brick and I like the idea of getting all 6 up Female Pain, but I just feel like that is a lot of points because 160 plus 300 near odd plus another like 400. That's like almost like 900 points in 3 units. So it's a bit scary, especially if your local meta is like Marines who are really good at killing big units. You might be better maybe going like more MSU with it. But again, let us know how it goes, mate. I'd be interested to hear. Alright, okay, Chenari, you were here asking for yours, weren't you, mate? Thank you for answering the Liz Chicken for answering his question, for helping Marshall there find his way in here. Chenari, so we've got Chonk, Plague Company, Death Guard, Strike Force. So, Lord of Contagion with Deadly Path. We have a Lord of Virulence, Mortarion, Tallyman, Typhus, Death Guard Cultist, just one squad of Cultists, 1-2 Predators, 1-2 squads of 3 Despardi Terminators, 2 squads of Bloat Drones, sorry, 2 Bloat Drones, 1 Mythic Blight Hauler, Plague Bus Crawler, Poxwalkers, Nurglings, Rotigus. Right, okay. So, for this one, Chuck, instant thought is PBCs at the moment in the game. PBCs 3 or 0. You either build around PBCs in like a Plague Storm list or you don't. They're just not very good, like on their own. 3 of them make the indirect semi-reliable and also makes the chunk factor of them actually an issue because they can be chunky. 1 isn't really going to do that. Now, what you could do here is lean into the big chunk and maybe cut down... You could cut down what? You could cut down a Hauler and a Bloat Drone for like another Plague Bus Crawler. Or Poxwalkers. 20 Poxwalkers with Typhus. So you have Big Brick of Typhus, Poxwalkers because you got... How many Death Shroud? You got 2 squad Death Shroud and how many characters to go with? So they got Death Character each. That would also make me like the LOV more if you had 2 units to make use of that plus blast. So if you had 2 Plague Burst Crawls, I'd feel a little better. Because it makes more of the LOV. Like at the moment, I don't like the LOV in this list because the reroll wounds is great. on units with lots of shots, like 6-man squads. I don't really like him in 3-man squads that much. But if his job is to provide ignore cover and +1 to hit the PBCs, then you need to invest in one of the PBCs. So at least try and get 2 PBCs in there. So I would cut the hauler and a drone for a second PBC at that point. You can run them with entropies or spitters. Now, looking at the rest of your list, given you've got flamers, you'll still have a drone which can have flamers. And you've got heavy bolters and your destructors. I'd probably just rock these guys with entropies. Personally for me, these poxwalkers, I imagine these 10 are probably just going to sit on home with Tallyman around, which is totally fine. I'm good with that. So you have 20. Yeah, so that's a lot of chunk, because then you have Roigus, 2 PBCs with Mortarion as well. So you've got 2 massive T12 targets followed up by 2 T10 targets. 3 of them are rocking 2 up saves, which is a pain in the ass to deal with. Actually, you might want to rock them with Plague Spitters though if they're playing aggressively. If you're going to play aggressive with Rotigus and Morty, and you want to be dominating with that toughness 12, because here's the thing. If you have Rotigus and Morty come down at the same turn you expose your PBCs, I near enough guarantee you no one is shooting the PBCs. So that means you can use them like bumper cars, just start driving into stuff, start tagging stuff, spraying stuff, mortaring things. Because people are going to want to kill the giant Great Unclean One and the giant moth that's flying around the line. So actually, like that a bit better maybe. It depends, you know your meta better than I do. It depends how many vehicles they have and how many infantry they have. There's a lot of infantry. Definitely whack them spitters on and go spitting on everybody. But so that's what my head's at straight away is cut one of these drones, cut a hauler, double up on a PVC. So now we've got 2 PVCs to make use of that buff the most. So we've got quite a lot of chunks. So on the turn 2, realistically, you should be exposing Mortarion, Rotigus should be coming down. 1 unit of Despardi Terminators, potentially keep the second one for a rapid ingress on turn 3. And the 2 PBCs. That's a lot of chunk for someone to deal with at once. You still got Predator Destructors, and again, the Predators can start to take more aggressive firing lines when Morty stuff exposes, because again, people aren't really thinking about shooting the Destructor at the back. People are more thinking about, shooting the giant thing that's in front of them. It's a bit more scary. So I mean, I don't think there's too much else I'd change to it, to be honest. 1 bloat drone is just always good to have because it can just annoy stuff, it can tag stuff. You could either rock it with spitters or any weapons genuinely fine the bloat drone. I think in this one, Flesh Mower actually would be pretty good because, again, we're talking about, yeah, you can tag your list solid, that's no problem. You're talking about a list that wants to give your opponent a target in Nightmare. And the spitters are scary, and so is the Heavy Blight Launcher, but the Flesh Mower, for some reason, seems to instill the most fear into someone. The second you say 10 attacks, AP2, damage 2, because of -1 save contagion, and then always remind them, potentially sustain, potentially AP3. You always got to remind them, make them, put the fear of God into them. That thing will get a lot of attention, more so than it should deserve. So I would beeline this thing on that turn 2, again, when everything comes down, everything exposes, beeline this thing at something. Just run clean out, even in the open, because, again, every single bullet that is flying at this fetid bloat drone with this stupid Flesh Mower at 90 points is going to not be flying at the PBCs, Morty, or Rotigus. And if they're going to shoot at Morty and Rotigus, which, again, that's what most players are going to do, just beeline that Flesh Mower at someone, because it's going to get left alone, and it's going to get a charge off next turn and start getting value back, okay? But part of that, there's actually not too much to change here. I like the 10 pox, because the 20 pox was just great for sort of tar pit in late game, because, again, all the stuff's dealing with this big stuff. They can just walk out. If they get a cheeky charge off somewhere and actually, get someone stuck, that can actually become quite annoying, because then, oh, great, now I've also got to dig that unit out of the Poxwalker jail. And again, Typhus can always flex. If there's going to be a matchup where Typhus is not going to be able to regenerate any of these Poxwalkers, Typhus can potentially go and join one of the one of the squads of Terminators, or even just go solo, which is great because then you have some more action pieces, which is always welcome. You're always happy to have more action pieces. So yeah, I think that's my call there. Just swap out 1 haul and 1 drone to a PVC. Just going to solidify up the archetype of the list being this toughness skew, and it's also going to give more value to your Lord of Virulence. It's really nice sort of easy change if you've got a second PVC that is dead easy to put in, and it's not going to mess your entire list. I'm not going to make you go and buy a load of things, and I think it'll work quite well. As again, just remember how I said to play it there. So just have that turn of, here's everything, good luck, pick one, you'll probably kill it, you ain't killing the rest. Okay? I It depends, Chuck. It depends, because a lot of the times rapid ingressing Rotigus can be good, but it depends on, because he's base size. Like, if I'm looking at this right now, the one thing I'm looking most to rapid ingress than anything is the Lord of Contagion squad, because that thing with the 3 dash just hits like a truck. Rotigus can stand around and be a big fat boy. He's more than happy to stand around. Just try and deep strike near an objective and be like, hey, next turn he's going to walk on that. I'll try a 9-inch charge. If I fail it, I'm going to thingy it. If they kill Rotigus, I would much rather them kill Rotigus than kill my Lord of Contagion Despardi, because that Lord of Contagion Despardi will kill pretty much anything it touches. So I would be looking at rapid ingress that thing first and Rotigus as a second priority. Excellent. So, thank you. Great. Let's go look at this one. It's great. List feels pretty basic. I plan on bringing this to Teams games. Okay, so Teams. So again, what we're going to remember, chat, is Teams lists are very different to your average list. They can be more skewed and they can have more weaknesses because your captain can just make sure you avoid the weaknesses. So we've got to remember that when we look at this. I have a few demon players on the team, so I'm trying to use the Malignifier as a chunky nurgling to fight over mid-board space. I just don't want to get penned in with infiltrators. Okay, fair enough. Or it gives my opponent a reason to give me an easy charge around the line. I currently don't have more predators and none of the shops around me currently have any. That's a real problem. Edit, I've been notified that fortifications. Oh, are they? Oh, okay. I did not know that. That's upsetting. Depending on what we need. Right, okay. Alright, this I have an issue with. A captain asking you to be flex so he can throw you in for narrow ties or to get an overwhelming win, depending on what we need. That doesn't really exist. And you'll learn this the more you play Teams. If that's like make me as a captain going, oh, I need you to not lose, but also win. And when you do win, you need to win by miles. It doesn't really exist. Like, you build a list, because the problem is, you can make a list that is trying to do both of those and ends up actually being shit at both of them. So, I'd ask your captain to define your role a bit more. Like, and like, I'll say right now, Death Guard are not a 20-0 faction. They're not fast enough to be a 20-0 faction. You can't table someone with the speed to 20-0. You can get 20-0s, but you're not a list that's designed to do that. Like, think back to the team summit we just had. Steven's list could 20-0 people. It had 3 units of Wardens, all with advance and charge. If that thing wanted to go turn 2, it's getting it. It's going to smash into him. It's going to pop 4 up, feeling pain and retaliation, and then it's going to do the same thing next turn and kill the rest of them. Death Guard, not so much. So I would more be looking at getting sort of like 15-5s to be your goal if you're going to be a push list, and part of that, you're just a list that no one really wants to face. But again, we'll carry on. I just wanted to clarify that up for you there, Greg. Just quick check in with the chat as well. Good day, boys. Just came home from it. 3-0 RTT second. Nice, Ben. Nice one, man. Death Guard hull spam. Plague Storm. It's getting up there. Hugh Jenner showed up late and just got caught up. It was interesting getting the news that the Super Bowl was and is today. Yeah, it's an important thing apparently in America. I don't know if it is. Apparently it's a big thing. So if you're into American football, then it's Super Bowl day. Woo! And yeah, it's interesting for me to know. The only reason I know is because Nat told me this morning. At least a freshly paid curse. Okay, I'm very true. I posted my list in the competitive thread. Would love to hear your thoughts if you have time, Lewis. Right, okay, I will have a look. Salty Patron, yet again, just find me and tag me. If we've got time, we'll go for it. Okay, been practicing it with 20 pox in place of the Malignifier. Alternatively, I'll switch that in a Marine Squad for a Defiler, turning LOC to an LOV, and been trying to find a Predator Destructor. Here's a link to what I've entered as a finalist to the tryout. Still got between now and the actual tournament match. So we've got Typhus, we've got 10-man Plague Marine Squad, Lord of Contagion, Plague Bus. So we're going to have 2 Rhinos, I'm guessing. Okay, right, so we have 2 Rhino. Okay. 3 National Terminators, so a bit of there. Bit of parking lot. Right, okay. 2 PBCs, 2 Rhinos, my eyes bloody... Wait, is it 2? Oh my god, my eyes are not working today. So, Miasmic Malignifier is going to be cut because it's, like you said, it's 1, not legal. Fortification is not legal. And 2, even if it was legal, if you're worried about getting penned in by infiltrators, then you don't bring a Miasmic Malignifier to fix that. What you do is you go to your captain and you say, you do not give me that creep matchup under any circumstances. If you're worried about that, that's the way to fix it, not by putting that unit in your list. So, for 315 points there. So, What this instantly looks like to me is, so we're not rocking Maya. We know we're not rocking Maya. Okay, so this could be played as a heavy pressure list if you wanted to go for it with some shooty backline. So to me, this makes me want to, if you want to pressure someone, you want to have lots of things that are going to put on pressure on early and just absolutely clap. So you want like a first wave of attack, which you don't really have here. You don't have any bloat drones for like force your opponent out. You need units that are going to force your opponent to stick the neck out first if you're going to win. So the reason Death Guard wins tanky shootout brawls is because we have cheap expendable stuff that is ridiculously cheap for what it is. So for example, a bloat drone cannot be killed by other skirmish units in the game. Power Exemplar, jump packing assessors, scout marines, jackals, things like that. They're not going to kill a bloat drone. They're just not. It's 90 points for a ridiculous profile. So that means they have to expose an actual unit like a Gladiator Lancer or something like that. Which means you're 90% of the time, if you bring bloat drones, you're going to get the first shot. And that's what is really good about bringing things like Predators, because we're going to get the first shot. But you have, in this list here, no real enabler. There is nothing to initiate a fight. The only thing you have is cultists, and the reason cultists are bad at this, cultists are great for early skirmish trading, like sort of like starting little shots off, but no one needs to expose anything big or anything important to kill a cultist squad. Your Nan can kill a cultist squad. She will cough on them and they will die from the influenza she has given them. Okay? So we need something that's going to require a little bit more force to kill, and that is usually where I bloat running. So my instant thought here is to drop this Malignifier, get a 1 drone in, and we got, what, 35 points, we got 25 points spare. So we're trying to find a second bloat drone in all of this here. Now, you could drop a unit of cultists and potentially put in drop the deadly pathogen. But my thought process here is, I like Plague Bus. I really like Plague Bus. Plague Bus can work fine with 5 Marines. It still has the ability to flip. Yep, Gray's on it. Gray's on it in the chat. Drop one of the Marines in the Rhino and take a second bloat drone. And we're still floating 25 points as well. Now, we kind of want to do some of those 25 points because we don't really want to be wasting stuff. But yeah, Gray's already onto it there. So we're going to have... You're still going to be able to flip a primary at one point. And the thing is, when you have brought the 10 Marine squad, bringing the 10 Marine squad means it's very, very hard for you to ever get your primary flipped. Unless they put a lot of effort into it, because it's fight first, you're going to sit on the point and be happy all day. All you have to do is disrupt theirs once, potentially twice if possible, and you'll win. It genuinely that simple. If someone doesn't know how to approach a losing neutral position, you will win that one. Sam Boardman, hey, Land Raiders are good. Congrats on the event win today, Sam. Even though you screwed up our poor Zito, we all hate you now. Get out of here, you dirty Bridgehead player. So, I think drop the Malignifier, drop 5 Plague Marines. Yeah, that's sort of what I found as well, Gray. Like, 1 turn is enough to flip it. And the fun thing is, if you play a Rapid Ingress play as well with the Rhino, you can Rapid Ingress it on from a board edge, drive up in your turn, flame everything off the point so nothing's on it, so nothing holds it. And then when they crack the Rhino, the 5 Marines get out on the point and there's 10 LC on it, which they've now got to try and also get off. So you can usually deny with just 5 Marines and the 2 Playcasters. So if you could just put in 2 bloat drones, now you have the cultists that can spread early contagion and do a little bit of skirmishing, but you have those bloat drones that are going to enable your PBCs and enable your predators to start winning those long range duels, yeah? And that's where the sort of value is going to come in. That's where you're going to get that first hit, because if you can trade, like, if you put a bloat drone on a point, most Marines just bring like 2 Gladiator Lancers. If they bring something like that, they bring like 2. If you can get a position where a Gladiator Lancer has exposed itself, shot and killed a bloat drone, but then you fire back and kill it with your 3 Predators or PBCs or whatever, they now have 1 Lancer left to your 5 hulls, plus you still got 1 more bloat drone. And that's where the value starts coming in. They can't efficiently trade into those kinds of units. So, probably going to recommend those changes for now. What we do with the spare 25 points, I don't really know. You could try and just put like Shamble Rot on this 10-man squad if you really don't want to risk it ever getting charged or anything like that. Or you could put Living Plague on a unit like the, potentially the, like a Plague Caster in case he wants to get out, but don't know about that. it's a weird one. You're going to have some awkward leftover points, and it's just kind of an awkward number. What you could do is technically you could use the 25 points. Maybe consider upgrade a cultist to a spawn, but is it really an upgrade? If it's just going to sit on home, potentially, because it'd be more resilient to indirect fire. Because they heal if they don't die, and they've got a better save, and they feel no pain. So maybe that's something if you come across some swings of indirect fire. But obviously, just remember, 2 spawn do take up less board space than a unit of cultists. So you do have to worry about potentially getting deep struck on. But I think those are the 2 changes to make. And then mess around with those last little points there, mate. And maybe see if there's any changes, cuts here, here or there that you could potentially make. I think that would be go a long way to making this be a pretty solid list. You could even potentially consider dropping 1 playcast, even though it break my heart. I don't want to do it. And change that to like an icon bearer and use the 20 points there with the 25, and you get over 45 points. Tallyman on home. But that's a lot of characters then, so it depends. But get 2 block drones on this list, and I'll be a happy bunny, mate. Excellent. So, who's up next? Who's up next? Anyone in the chat? So we just did yourself, sir. So Chuck's done. Salty Patron. So one of these posted. Good lord, somebody. Oh, we're gonna lie. Salty Patron, there we go. Right, okay. Salty Patron, I did say we would do yours, and we've got this one. Right, okay, excellent too. Right, okay, we'll just go down from here. I'm just gonna go a quick drink. Right, Tempest Terrain. Prepping for Adepticon, my first big tournament. Right, cool. Trying this out on Tuesday night. Feedback would be amazing. Right. So we've got Dirt. That's going to be the big... Oh, 7-man. Okay, 7-man Marine squad. Right, okay. Foul Blight Spawn, Bars Fire, Mortarian, Typhus. 2 7-man squads. Death Guard Rhino, Black Lord Terminators, Death Guard Land Raider. Oh, Zeo. If Zeo is on right now, I know exactly what I'm going to say. Right. We have no Rhino. Yeah, no Rhino. Okay. So we have no Rhino. Oh, we don't have Rhino. We have 2 Rhinos. 2 Rhinos. Do not put these Blight Lords in this Land Raider. Blight Lords, in general, are not good. They're not very good. Now, however, take this Rhino. Okay. Zeo knows this is going, because Zeo just went 4 on using this tech. Take this Rhino, chop him out. Take one of your 7-man Plague Marines, give it a Biological Putrefier, like this guy. The drawing is 10 spare points, so we've got 10 spare points as well. 7-man Marine squads are not worth investing 170 points, 120 points of characters in. Unless they go full aggro with it. Because we've seen this work. So if you actually cut this Foul Blight Spawn out for a Chaos Lord, I know it sounds really weird, we're going to recommend Claude. So a Death Guard Chaos Lord with Twin Lightning Claws is a very interesting unit. Because with a Biological Putrefier, Claude has can get 6, he has 6 attacks, but everything on 5 up he's going to crit. And their lethal hits are given to his Lightning Claws. And then he's also twin linked on everything. So I think the maths point out that Claude, on average, if you pop the sustained hit stratagem, plus he gives the squad reroll 1s, which is really nice, Claude will give about, on average, 8 wounds to a tank. He will deal 8 wounds on average to a tank with sustained hits with the -1 save contagion. Chaos Lord with Lightning Claws is actually very good in a 7-man squad specifically, because he makes up for the lack of double special weapons on everyone, and he just hits like a freight train with a Biological Putrefier. I don't recommend a Foul Blight Spawn in a 7-man because you need the damage given by the squad having all the double special weapons, because when you go from a 10 to a 7 to a 10-man, you get to double up on all your guns. Because you're doing 7-mans, the Claude will actually give you, we call him Claude because he's Chaos Lord with Lightning Claws, it's Claude, will actually probably do you better. The fun thing is, it's weird, it's techie, no one ever plays it, and then you run it into someone's unit and just obliterate it. If anyone hasn't tried it, genuinely roll out on the table a Chaos Lightning, if you have living deadly pathogen on it, it's even funnier. Try him out, roll it out, so just remember, you're going to be hitting on 2s, rerolling 1s with sustained and lethal 5s, and then twin linked on the wound roll, and those things you're reading on 4s because you're -1 toughness. Try it out, it's really funny. I don't know why it works, it just does, but it's really funny. And then you have all the rest of the squad attacking as well. So I'm actually going to recommend you run a Claude here. And then the best bit is the Claude goes in the Land Raider. The Claude, you don't run the Black Lords in the Land Raider. They're not scary enough. You want the Land Raider to put fear of God into people. Again, we talked about this before. And Zito was running it just literally all weekend we just had with the Claude, the 7-man Marines, and the Biology Putrefier in that Land Raider, and he absolutely teared people up with it. But you have to be ballsy. Just go. Like, do not mess around with Land Raider. Be ballsy with it. Especially if you get first turn. So I actually like Land Raiders. They've actually grown on me quite a lot. So that means you can cut the Rhino and the potentially the Foul Blight Spawn. Use the Claude. He goes in the Land Raider. The Black Lord Terminators can sit in reserves. They're fine. They're more of a shooter unit anyway. They can just come in, shoot something, or do an action. That's fine. I'm not saying drop them. You don't got to drop your Black Lords, but they're not worthy of giving this transport. This transport needs to carry something deadly, and that is going to be a Claude is going to do a lot more work for you than those 5 Black Lords in that Land Raider will. Because they only take 1 slot as well, so you're still going to have 2 spare slots in there, which I saw Zito was running like a solo Lord of Contagion in there, which was quite funny to just hop out and go punch something as well, so that was quite funny. Then you can have your other Rhino, that's fine. You can even just turn this Foul Blight Spawn here into a second Biology Putrefier, so you have 2 squads with 5 up crits, which is going to be quite nice, because the second Rhino is going to become the Chaos Lord in points, and then this guy can become the second Biology Putrefier in points, which would then also free you up 20 points there, plus 10 off the Rhino into a Chaos, 30 points, which then you could put Living Plague onto the old the Chaos Lord to make him even funnier, because he gets an extra attack and goes to Strength 6, which is quite a big break point for Claude as well. And if you ever get onto an objective and you have 8 attacks with Sustain, and you ever get the Sustain 2 off, oh god, it's horrendous. And it's just a really fun unit as well. It's really, really fun. So you've got a nice big brick of Desharov there. You've got 2 Brigands, which is quite nice. They're going to do quite a bit of damage there. A unit of Nurglings, a Beast of Nurgle, 10 Potswalkers to sit on home. That's quite nice. It's actually quite similar to what Zito was running. And again, Zito did quite well. That's probably the only change I would recommend right here, right now. Because again, we try not to rip people's entire lists apart. So drop this Rhino, put the Claude in the list. Use the Land Raider for the Plague Marines with the Claude inside it. Use the points to either get another Biology Putrefier or just get more scoring stuff. You can even you try and maybe get a bloat drone potentially, because you cut this guy entirely, this Foul Blight Spawn. That's 70 points there. You can, cut down. You can't really cut too much else. You need some stuff on home and all that. Yeah, just maybe get another scoring unit, whether that's you can drop these Plague Marines to a 5-man, but if they drop into a 5-man, don't get a second Biology Putrefier. I wouldn't recommend that. I'd probably, 2 7-mans of Biology Putrefier each. One with the Claude and the Land Raid. That's going to be quite nice. You could potentially keep the Foul Blight Spawn if you just want to defend a primary. I will give you that. You can potentially keep that in the second 7-man squad. Yeah, that's the way we try and do it on Air Tempest terrain. We try not rip entire lists apart. We try and do small changes that we think would improve the list. So if you can get a Claude, either built up, converted, whatever it is, you can just get Chaos Claw, Lightning Boy, give it a whirl. Honestly, then you can just drop a Rhino out your list, and then maybe change out the Power Blight Spawn, or keep it in. It depends. It's not too much. It's not like a deal breaker, but I think the Blight Lords playing from reserves and the Claude and Land Raider will genuinely get you more value out of this. Listen, do a lot more damage. Okay, so give that a whirl and make sure to come back to us and let us know. I do like the Brigands as well here. Brigands are really solid. I do like them. So yeah, it's a pretty straight, easy change, that one for you, mate. Excellent. Right, okay, who else has just put in the chat? Yeah, it is a fun kit bash challenge. It is a fun one. So come to the last 15 minutes now. We'll try and get as many as we can in. So next up we have... So, Killisman. This is my list for casual play. Occasionally I tease a little my demons. I want my demons. They stay. I'm open to advice. No, alright, cool. That's fine. We like demons. That's fine. Oh, by the way, yeah, you're free to, when you give these lists, give me restrictions. You have a pet unit you want to keep. Make sure you put it in. We work around what you guys want. We don't just... The one thing I'm not going to do is always just go copy and paste. Here's the list that won the last tournament. Here's the last one. It's boring. It's boring. We don't want to do that. Your policeman. Excellent, Marshall. Cool. Right. Pestilent Parade. Lord of Contagion. Deadly Pathogen. Biology Putrefier. Mortarian. Plague Surge. Sorry. Plague Surgeons, man. Telling my normally alone. That's fine. Typhus. 10 Plague Marines. Plague Marines 2 by 5. That's fine. 2 Rhinos. That's fine. 2 squads of Despardi Terminators. Poxwalkers 3 times 10. Bonjour, no AD baby. How's it going? I'm good, Beef. How's it going, mate? How are you doing, buddy? Nerds 2 times 3. Playbros 1 times 10. Poxbringer Rogus. Okay, cool. Rogus is actually genuinely good. That's good. Poxbringer is okay. It gives them lethal 5s. Plague Bearers are actually pretty good. I don't mind that. It's just a good squad of 10 of 20 OC. Nurglings are fine. Don't mind Nurglings. Poxwalkers being minimums here is okay. We have 1, 2. So we've got 2. Yeah, so we're not looking to use Poxwalker tech. Okay, so if we make quick suggestions here, mate. Quick suggestion if possible, if models are available. If you're going to run Poxwalkers of 3 times 10, swap 2 of those or 20 of those to Cultists. Cultists are just generally better. 10 Poxwalkers to sort of sit on home is fine, but Cultists just add, because they're faster, they have Scout, they can get contagions up early for stuff like shooting, they can also just get actions done a lot easier because they're a bit faster. They also don't have terrible leadership. I mean, they have bad leadership, but not as bad as Poxwalkers. Poxwalkers are 8, they're 7, it's a little better. So I would recommend cutting the 20 Poxwalkers to just 2 squads of Cultists. It's a small side grade. It is an upgrade, but it's not like going to make or break the list. So if you haven't got Cultists, you don't want to buy them. Totally fine. Okay, so Plague Surgeon is bad. I'll be straight up with you. Plague Surgeon is just a bad unit. It's not good. The problem with the Plague Surgeon is you have to get shot to get value. And the problem in the meta at the moment these days, especially with like stuff like New Oaths or Bridgehead or things like that, you will more than likely, against a competent player, when you put out 10 Plague Marines, you will get your ass obliterated. So what you need to do is make sure that Plague Marine squad does the most damage possible, or has a tool like Fight First to make sure it always swings first. And I know it's boring and we repeat all the time, but sometimes like a unit is just generically just awful, and the Plague Surgeon's kind of just bad. I would prefer him to be like a Foul Blight Spawn or something like that. Now, if you want to use a Plague Surgeon, that's fine. Just understand that he basically has to go in a 10-man because a 5-man will get picked up. And you can do some weird techie stuff where you basically keep him and the squad behind a wall. You put 1 Plague Marine over the wall onto an objective. Your opponent thinks, oh, cool, I'll just shoot him and kill him. You kill the 1 Marine that was on the objective. Cool, nothing else can shoot you. And then at the start of your command phase, you resurrect the model over the wall onto the objective. And then because you score primary at the end of the command phase, you actually now will hold that and score primary off it, which is quite nice. So you can do little tricks like that. So that's like the only redeeming thing. But Shamble Rot is a 25 point enhancement, I think it is, Shamble Rot. If you can find any use for that anywhere else, I would prefer that. I would rather have 2 times 10 Poxwalkers than 2 Chaos Spawn. But again, if you don't want him to get... Because the thing is, if you're giving them this because you don't want him to get charged, because it's -2 to charge rolls, just take a Foul Blight Spawn. I know it sounds daft, but like, just, no one's going to charge if you've got a Foul Blight Spawn. -2 to charge is great for deterring charges. First fight first is make sure no one ever charges you. So, honestly, part of that is genuinely pretty solid list. It's really solid. You got nice basics down. The only thing I might want to see here is you have no guns for like long range shooting against like tanks and stuff. So you kind of got to play this aggressively. Just by the nature of it, kind of wants to get in your opponent's face. So like these rhinos need to get a good staging point, and then you kind of just need to unleash everything at your opponent. So again, Rotagus and more, you need that second. As we were talking before, again, I think it was Gray's list. You need to have that go turn. Not Gray's, was it Chuckanari's list, the big chunky one? Yeah, Chuckanari's. You need to have that turn where sort of everything exposes. So on that second turn, I want Mortari. I want something to rapid ingress. So Death Shroud Terminators. I want Mortarion to move up and advance and get aggressive. I want Rotagus to come out and get aggressive. And then I want the 10-man Plague Marine squad in the Rhino to drive out. So basically, if they want to kill the Marines, they have to crack the Rhino first and then get to the Marines. And whatever they target first, you -1 to hit and make it as hard to kill as possible. And then the next turn is when you connect. It's all about that second go turn. And because you've not really got any guns in here, you really are about staging. So you really need to get good at staging, getting that middle board presence on the turn 1, whether that's with advances and getting into spots. And then turn 2, you just need to absolute full send it into your opponent, because you can't sit back and get shot because you have literally 0 guns. One thing you could do is potentially drop the 2 Plague Marine squads here and the Rhino which should give you 180 plus 1 plus what, 75 for round, gives you 250. 5, drop Shamble Rot, chuck 2 Predators in, just to give yourself some shooting firepower, just so you can shoot stuff back and, you know, not just have your opponent sit in the open on the line of deployment. That could be a thing you could do, because in this list, that second Rhino with the 2 5-mans doesn't really fit the playstyle of it. What you could do is combine them into another 10-man in the second Rhino and just have 2 big 10-mans run at your opponent. Drop 1 squad of Poxwalkers and then put another Biologist Putrefier in the second 10-man. So you have 2 very big, scary 10-man squads, plus Morty, plus Rotigus, plus Death Shroud. Maybe even consider going 1/6 Death Shroud and running Total Typhus. Just to have lots of scary threats. And your opponent will probably kill 1, but that'll be all they'll kill, and then you get to connect the next turn. But yeah, honestly, just give those little changes a go. That's all I'd say. So either consider making a big 2 big 10-mans of a Biologist Putrefier, drop the Plague Surgeon for a Foul Blight Spawn, and maybe even consider dropping the second squad of Plague Marines and the second Rhino just for some shooting firepower. Okay? Right, so we've got a couple more minutes. So KazumaH and Noir Dog, right? Noir Dog and this one. Right, okay, a lot of people have put it in, actually. So Noir Dog, relatively new to 40k, looking to build my first 2-year Death Guard army. Originally I started collecting and painting the models during COVID, didn't plan to play. I did a few 500-point games, they were fun, so I had to focus more on my Death Guard army and get into painted to 2k. I have some CSM minis as well that can proxy Marines and Termite if needed, more than the dedicated Death Guard models I have. Both extra long war and Red Talon Skull. Death Guard models, Morty, Typhus, 2 times Blightspawn, 2 times Lord of Runes, 1 times Tallyman, 1 times Plague Surgeon. Right, so this is your collection you've got, right? Right. So we've got Rhinos, we've got Plague Marines, 20 Marines, yeah. Right, okay, Pogwalkers. That's funny. Right. Right, Noir, just because when we're making a list, it's going to take me a bit more time. So what I'll do is, for this one, let me cook on it, and I will message you directly with a list I've made from this, just because we're on time constraint at the moment, and I'd have to do a lot of like figuring out maths and figuring out what you've got and what is available and stuff like that. So I won't cover this in the stream now, but I will message you at some point, either tonight or tomorrow morning. Let me cook on this one. I'll make you some up, but you can definitely make a list out of this one quite easily. There is some good stuff in here. Cultists go in for sure. We can take like some War Dog allies, that's fine. Bring some Rhinos, bring some Predators. So if that's okay with you, mate, just because making a list takes longer than just reviewing a list, because obviously I have to do all the numbers for it, I have to make sure I'm happy with it, but you'll definitely get a good 2k list out of this. So if that's alright with you, mate, I will make this tonight and I'll message you directly. Just bear with us on that one. Oh, that's alright, mate. So Despardi. Have an ITC on February 22nd, open for anything and everything except crabs. Sorry, Don. I'm trying to Plague Storm hybrid build because my L just always likes to have a battle line mission. Plague Bus use doesn't work for me, but I kept trying it anyway. Open to change it entirely. Okay. If Plague Bus isn't working for you, drop it. What works for thee does not work for me. It's the rules all the time. Some units just don't gel with people, doesn't gel with the playstyle. If it's not working for you, don't force it in, because you're just going to make yourself play worse. Like that 130 points could be another Predator if you're going for a whole spam list, for example. So just bear that in mind. Now, or you could just go with a classic 10-man fight first break. That always gets value. So unit cost, we got 1 Destructor, 2 Destructor, we've got Death Shroud Terminate Squad, 1, 2, 3 Bloat Drones, Hauler, and 2 Plague Burst Crawlers. So what I'm saying right now is, if this isn't working for you, cut these guys completely. You can cut them. You can even like cut someone else and maybe get a third PBC or get a third Predator. That is going to do you way more work than trying to force an awkward to use unit that is not gelling with your playstyle, honestly. LOC Deadly Pathogen 3 Death Shroud is a great little surgical precision unit. We like that, brings it in, goes and kills things, it's accurate. Now, because you're going to ITT, because you're going to a teams tournament, you want to make a list that is, depends what you want to be. If you want to be a sort of a bully list, you need to get more hulls in here. We need to get more hulls, so I would drop them, get another Destructor in here, And I would potentially consider cutting the hauler and potentially one of the bloat drones for a third PBC if you can. 3 PBC, 3 Predator Morty is like a really good, strong core for a team's list. You can build what you want around that, but that's like the core of it. If you do have a Carnivore, by the way, can't sing that thing's praises enough. This little bad boy did so much work at ITT, so can't sing enough praise about those things. But if you're going to not run the Plague Bus, you could just, again, consider turning this into a classic Fight First Marine brick. It just means you're never going to have to really worry about holding a primary. So I would probably do that. So again, we don't want to change too much. If you've got the classic Foul Blight Spawn and Biology Putrefire, chuck them instead. That'll save you 15 plus 5 point, 20 points spare there on this 10-man. Make it a big 10-man and the Rhino. So 25 points spare. Cut 2 of these into either a third PBC or a third Predator plus 50 points spare. And with a 50 points spare, that'll give you 75 points because of the spare points above. You can then cut the Deadly Pathogen and get another hull, because like 75 plus 15 put you to 80, put you to 90, and get another bloat drone / hauler actually there. So that would actually put you back to 3 bloat drones. So you'd have 3 bloat drones, 2 PBCs, and a Predator. Or you go cut these, go 3 PBC, 2 Predator, and then this comes a big Fight Thirsty Boy squad. And you have a couple points spare to put on like an enhancement or whatever you want. So it's not. Oh, it's not a teams. Okay, so it's IT. Oh, so I've read that as ITT. There, my bad. Okay, apologies. Yeah. So again, I'm still gonna echo what I said though, because it's still a very strong core of a list. That makes me more want to put this as a Fight First squad. So I would put this as a Fight First squad, and then get another Predator or another PBC. I don't like a solo hauler. So I would probably potentially change that out for just some more scoring stuff, whether that's another unit of cultists, and then a unit of Nurglings to just screen out and potentially thingy. But it depends which angle you want to go. But you can either go quite strong hull spam, which can go like we saw Tofu from our Discord do really well with double PBC, double Predator, Mortarian, 10-man Fight First brick. I think he had a squad of Despardi maybe, and then like a Brigand. That was also pretty good. So mess around with that. Just drop the playbook if it's not working for you. That's my first thing. Change that over to Fight First. It's just going to get you more consistent use out of it. 2 PBC, 2 Predator is fine with Morty. And then Death Shroud's fine. You could even consider... I'd even consider just dropping this hauler and then getting the spare 20 points you'll have here, because you have 15 plus number 5. And yeah, that'll do it, yeah. And make that a big 6-man Death Shroud Terminator squad. So you have a massive, scary Death Shroud squad. So you have a big 6-man squad. We drop the hauler, and that becomes a traditional Fight First. So then you have 4 nice shooty tanks there. You've still got 3 bloat drones for the early skirmish and early trading. You've got a big Fight First brick that's just a useful tool to have, and you have a really scary rapid ingress target coming in. So actually, that's probably what I'm going to go for on this one. And that's nice, simple, easy to play, plays itself almost. You just got some really big scary units there, and you've got some nice tradey bits, and you've got some range firepower from the tanks, and you've still got the bloat drones to play that early skirmish game. Okay, that's what I'm going to go for on that one. So then, last but not least, we'll do this last one. Josh B, if you get a chance, RT coming Saturday, can't tell what kind of one Brigand, Mortal Land Raider, and extra 3DS with Lord of Contagion. So it's the last bit. What is the last bit? Right, okay. Carnivore and Brim, what have you sent here? Possible. Is this Flyblown? It is Flyblown host. So we got Plague Bus. So we have Plague Bus with 10 Plague Marines. 5 Plague Marines, that's good, that's fine, I like that, about to say. I'd rather have 2 5s, but you've already got that. So Cultists, you got big brick, 90, 90, 90, 100, 100, 100, 70. Right, okay. So this is 2,000 points, yeah? Because I genuinely quite like this as it is. If you were to change this, what would a change? Is this 2,000 points? 70, 150, plus 130, 280, 580, 660, 75. Yeah, this is looking like two. Is this 2K? Someone help me out with this. Is this 2K? My brain's gone a bit. I like this with Morty personally. Mainly because without Morty, you can genuinely get blunted by a single armor contempt. And Morty's a big sponge, so as we were talking about before, it's all about exposing stuff at the same time. So if Morty comes out, or Morty makes a trade, it is 2K, thanks Beef. If Morty makes a trade so that these guys can get good charges, I like that. So I mean, I'd be much happier with that. The only thing I wish this had is some sticky. But again, that's neither here nor there really. I just hate the fact that we don't get sticky in this attachment. Man, that's really solid though. A carnival wouldn't be a bad shout in this because it just gives you something big. You can rapid ingress it on. It's scary. I wouldn't run brigands in this. They're too expensive. Man, that's really. What's the bit you're not liking? Because you're saying the rest of the list is running really nice. What's the last bit? You say. Yay, internet drop. Apologies again, guys. That's frustrating. What? So I don't know if you heard that bit then before it cut me off. Sorry, internet again. You're unsure about Morty, right? Okay. If you're unsure about Morty, if you're running in a meta with lots of Marines and you're worried about oaths and things like that, then and you're not confident in like when to do a Morty trade or like when to expose him, then double carnivore will do you quite well because they're fast. They OC flip really easily. If it dies, it's 140 point. Who cares? Like, it's not the biggest deal in the world, and you still have 20 points spare, and you can put like an enhancement on someone. It all depends how you feel playing with Morty. Does Morty get value for you, or has he just been falling over and dying? Because sometimes he does just fall over and die. I just personally don't like, because of the nature of fly blown, I can't be asked dealing with someone giving me -2 to move or -2 to charge or anything like that, because that shuts you down, and this thing needs to have early pressure and early aggression. And they're the things that do that well. But you can also do that with carnivores, because carnivores can early pressure and early aggression as well, because they're OC8 on a really fast body. So the question really is back to you, Beef. Do you find Morty to be worth it? Are you finding him doing well, or are you finding you're struggling to get value out of him? Because if you're struggling to get value, I'd go for the double carnivore. I think double carnivore is pretty damn good. He does, yeah, he does, Beef. The carnivores are pretty solid, I'll say that for sure. Like, when I was running them, they pretty much always connected and got some value back, or at least flipped an objective. So if you find that use, then go for that. But there is something to be said about Morty, which is, as you've said then, sometimes he just rolls 4-ups and 5-up feel no pains, and he just doesn't die. And if your opponent has a turn where they connect on him, and you just pass everything and they waste an entire shooting phase on him, then you just punish them and they never get back. Like that's it. Like that's game. It can just end the game right there. And that's why I like Morty, because sometimes you just gotta take that risk, and sometimes it pays off. And especially when you're playing fly blown, because you are playing at disadvantage. I won't lie. Play company's just generically better in my opinion. And Morty can just sometimes do the Morty effects on someone. And if you learn to play him and expose him at the right time, then that Morty effect can just end the game. So for now, I probably would keep him in, because the carnivores require a bit more position, a bit more playing. They will get value, but they also can't Morty affect someone. So it depends what you want. The carnivores are probably more consistently for like denying scoring and stuff like that. But I just found Morty's ability to ignore modifiers was really useful. It means you can't get slowed down, which is really good for fly blown. And that turn, sometimes when he just 4-upped someone and just feel no pain to someone, can just end the game. Especially if he's also really good for doing the catapult slingshot, because the Death Shroud charge out, he charges into them, Morty kills the tank or whatever it was, and then the Death Shroud can do the 6-inch pile and stuff. So I'd personally keep Morty, but just honestly, the question is really back to you, Beef. It is, do you want the consistent like the OC denial of Brigands and like the good melee profile of Brigands, because they hit harder than Morty, that's for sure, or would you rather have the utility of never having to worry about being slowed or anything like that, and potentially the ability to just Morty 4-up someone? That's really all the decision is, mate. So I know it's not the greatest answer to give you, but that is genuinely the only answer I can give you, because I'm the exact same when I play Flyblown. Sometimes Morty's the absolute hero of the day, and some people just don't. Yeah, I don't understand it either, but when you put a giant demon moth Primarch in front of someone, that they're going to shoot it. They're just going to shoot it. I don't know why, but they just really want to shoot him. And you need to make, if you're against a player that won't just shoot him, make him as much the problem as you can. Run him clean at him. Just be like, look, you're going to shoot him or he's going to get into your back home objective. Like, you got to do something. You have to, at some point, shoot this moth. And that's basically the way you run Morty. Sack, thank you very much for coming to play with me, mate. Really appreciate the support. Once again, go to our community tab on YouTube, scroll down a few posts, click the link, get inside this Discord, and join your plagued brethren. Taking Death Guard to RMO, Rocky Mountain Open, going to the Boys Proud, hell yeah, I hope you do really well, mate. And again, just hope you have fun more than anything though, mate. Thank you so much for the support, and you go out there with your Death Guard and kick some ass. But I think that's all we're going to go for tonight, guys, because it's been about an hour and 15 at this point, so it is unfortunately a school night and I have to be up like a good boy to go to school, aka work, because yay, we all have to do work. But thank you everyone for tuning in for now. Once again, hope you guys got something useful out of this, people in the chat. I will try and do another one again next week. We've got some more content coming up. Again, we got the video about the worst units in the index and how I'd fix them. We've got another one coming out for Infection Critical to look at the best performing Death Guard list this week. Hint, hint, Zito might be on it. With his crazy Land Raider Claude tech. And yeah, we've got a couple of things coming out. Obviously, we're in a weird spot. Our codex is kind of soonish, so I don't really want to do like too many tactical deep dive videos because it's just going to become irrelevant in like a month. Well, not a month, like 2-3 months, but still, you get what I'm trying to say. So we'll keep making sure content's coming out for you though, guys. Again, if you haven't, check out Will's Poxwater Plague Marine from today. And yeah, I look forward to the future. It's going to be a cool, very few and interesting next few months for the Death Guard, especially when we do get our when we get our good old codex, which will be really cool. For now, everyone, yeah, you're coming on to chat about Zito. You are coming on to chat on a live. I'll speak to you about it. If you're out to come on a live and speak with me, Dave and Will, that'd be really cool to hear about your Bolton experience. So again, second shout out for Zito for doing 4-1 amazingly well. Also, Will shout out Sam. He's our friend for winning his first ever big tournament. So congrats to Sam, even if it is at the commiserations of Zito, because he is a friend of the channel. So congrats to both people. They both did extremely well. For now, everyone, take care. I will catch you all on the next stream / episode / wherever it is you tune into. Stay right, everybody. Take care. I'll catch you soon. Bye bye.
From the depths of in the void, where the warp winds howl, a fleet once noble, now destined to fall. Grave wardens stir, betrayal takes shape, Typhoon's whispers, sealing their fate. Navigators lost to the shadowed lie, a fleet adrift beneath a darkened sky. The warp's cruel grasp, unyielding and tight, chaos awaits in the endless night. Whispers of power, a pestilent tide, Mortarian's pride, with nowhere to hide. The destroyer plague, a grim reward, Nurgle's laughter echoes aboard. Bound by decay, they rise in his name. The Death God transformed, never the same. Plague-born sons with torment they bled, shambling forth where angels fear to tread. his side. Through agony storm, their oaths collide. Grandfather's hand, the pact is sealed. The Legion reborn, their fate revealed. Lies in the armor, rot in the soul. A Primarch remade, his heart grown cold. In terror's shadow, their war drums beat. Pestilent warriors, no chance of retreat. Through breach and ruin, their banners fly. With death's embrace, they'll never die. The Lion's Gate, where hope was torn. Jagged ties, blade meets the blade born. Bound by decay, they rise in his name. The death god transformed, never the same. Blade-born sons with torment they bled, shambling forth where angels fear to tread. Typhus herald, chaos born, Mortarian's wrath, the plague sworn. In the warp, their legacy thrives. Eternal servants where corruption lies. Mortarians fall, Typhus ascends. The death god song, it never ends. Sky we rise, wings of death, clouds of flies. The crag will burn, the pure will fall. Mortarian's wrath will consume them all. Ultimately pride crumbled in the dust. Your emperor's light can't stop the rust. Disease and rot by your final breath. Now kneel before the Reaper's death. I am the plague, I am the rot. The end of all that you forgot. You fought for hope, you fought for lies. Now your shining world slowly dies. From the skies I bring despair. Your warrior choke on poisoned air. My cracking flames, hear the cries. Mortarian's plague, watch its glory dies. The Reaper falls, your honored sword. In death your soldiers are reborn. There's no salvation, no last stand. My crown is buried by my hand. Blue and gold, once proud, once bright, now swallowed whole by endless night. I am decay, and I will feast. Your chapter falls beneath my feet. Goyman sons will face my wrath. In every breath, your lungs turn black. Your noble heart, I turn to ash in my shadow. Your hopes will crack. I am the plague, I am the rot. The end of all that you forgot. You fought for hope, you fought for lies. Now your shining world slowly dies. From the skies I bring despair. Your warrior choke on poisoned air. The cracking flames, hear the cries. Mortarian's blade, watch its glory dies. The angel falls, your honored sword. In death your soldiers are reborn. There's no salvation, no last stand. My crown is buried by my hand. Crag, what's the jewel of the stars? Now lies broken, tainted with my scars. I am your doom, your final breath. Mortarian comes, delivering death. From the skies I bring despair. Your warrior choke on poisoned air. My cracking flames, hear the cries. Mortarian's plague, watch its glory dies. The angel falls, your honored sword. In
From the shadow depths of a broken hive, corpses twitch and come alive. This crimson plague, it feeds on fear as the bodies drop and it draws us near. Our skin is crawling, something's inside, internal organs liquefied. Death God's gift, a twisted fate, no escape for me, yeah, it's too late. No goal comes except your fate. It won't stop, the hive's infected, it's too late. Watch it all decay, falling to your knees. The hive will consume by the sick disease. Our souls corrupted, can't run, can't fight. The walking pox now takes its bite. The walking pox now takes its bite. Let the rod, let the rod. Walking pox now takes its bite. Lungs are burning, pox fills the air. You scream for help, but no one cares. Bones are breaking, bodies twist. The Death Guard's gift, death's toxic kiss. Pale-eyed stare with a hollow glare. They're gone but shambling, lost somewhere. This hive is his, disease and bloom. No light survives in this darkened tomb. There no comes except your fate. It won't stop, the hive's infected, it's too late. Watch it all decay, falling to your knees. The hive will consume by the sick disease. Our souls corrupted, can't run, can't fight. The walking pox now takes its bite. The walking pox now takes its bite. You feel it subtle deep inside. There's no cure, nowhere to hide. You breathe me in, you can't escape. I am the plague, I am your fate. What can you feel it in your bones? This is where it now goes home. No mercy here, you're out of time. Your final breath is that last line. Watch it all decay, falling to your knees. The hive was consumed by the sick disease. Our souls corrupted, can't run, can't fight. The walking pox now takes its bite. The walking pox now takes its bite. Watch it all decay, falling to your knees. The hive was consumed by the sick disease. Our souls corrupted, can't run, can't fight. The walking pox now takes its bite. The walking pox now takes its bite. Through the skies we come to claim our prize. A world infected before your eyes. We are the rod, we are the end. The Death God's mercy is death again. Watch it all decay, falling to your knees. The hive will consume by the sick disease. Our souls corrupted, can't run, can't fight. The walking pox now takes its bite.